Go Battleborn, Nevada.
All right, here we go. Late night happy hour. We got the dogs. We got the hats. It's actually our legal podcast tonight. We're going a little bit early. We're probably going to do this from here forward, 9 o'clock on Thursday nights, just like Wednesdays, 9 o'clock Pacific. Justin doesn't have to take a nap. What do you got, tea or coffee? You doing the coffee this late? Come on.
Tea.
All right. Adam is here.
I'm here.
Do it.
I was going to say, Justin, can we start off with a ethical question? Since
I love ethical questions.
Well, I know that you love ethics and fantasy football, so I know these are both up your alley.
All right, let's do it.
So there's a guy in my league that he was just a plethora of riches at tight end. He had Darren Waller and George Kittle, and Kittle's coming back now, right? So can't really use them both unless I guess you use a flex. So everybody's been throwing him offers trying to get one of his tight ends because obviously, like, why are you keeping two? So we're throwing back offers here and forth, and then he started sending out offers. Like, all right, let me send out some feelers. What can I get? So he sent me a trade. I was like, I kind of like it. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm going to do it, but I'm not sure. He sent me. I have David Montgomery on my bench because my running backs are ridiculous. And so he sent me Darren Waller for David Montgomery. I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. So as I'm pondering it, somebody else accepted his trade for Kittle. And before he withdrew, I was like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm totally screwing this guy over. I'm leaving him with no tight ends. So now I accepted the trade. So now he's traded both Kittle and Waller away.
I see no problem there.
Okay.
Right? He took the risk. You should offer them both out. I mean, offer one out. That was dumb. I like it. I like the move.
I assume I'm going to get some text during this broadcast because I literally just did it before we went on the air. So
pay attention.
That's it.
I don't think there's any issue with that. Tough luck.
Yeah.
I also have no issue with 6 personal fouls in the Jets game. We're playing football. Be adults. And for my language might be strong tonight because me after a Jets game that was actually kind of close and I was into it, it's going to be salty. For everyone with the Greg Williams stuff, shut up. Bunch of pussies watching football. It's going to be hard plays. At the end, Fangio's a buffoon, so he's having his only quarterback option right now, drop back and try to throw the ball out time-wise. Yeah, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit a bunch. Tough luck. Fangio's a moron. So is Gase.
It was Bounty Gate.
You know what? Adam was right. Well, by the way, because I saw some people who were like, well, Greg Williams and all these personal fouls, it's all on Adam Gase. You're right. It was all on Sean Payton, too, and Sean Payton's still coaching. Now, he's a good coach. But, yeah, they're morally bankrupt from the top down. Greg Williams is just part of a system. Well, you nailed it, Adam, because you said you actually didn't think it was going to be a slop fest, that there'd be a lot of points, and it wound up going to 65. So anyone playing under 41, you were out of it pretty early.
Yeah, and somebody just tweeted at me and said, thanks for the Melvin Gordon over pick as well. So we're on that.
What did he finish with yards? Because it was over under 69.5.
I mean,
he must have been way over because he freaking had a touchdown run at the end, which is that's another thing we have to get into. As a cover is amazing.
107.
So 107. It was 69.5. So that actually, how long was the run? Like 45?
43.
It was only 33.
43.
So it's 43. So that gets it. Stop. That was the over.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. It was at 65 before that. Am I doing the math right? Holy crap.
Well, no, they had another possession. Did he get a carry on that possession? Or was it all kneel downs? Because they threw it.
No. Nope.
Remember?
Finals 107 with the long of 43.
No, but I mean, after the touchdown, the Broncos got the ball back.
I guess I'd have to look at the play-by-play.
Oh, right.
Yeah. The line itself, you could have got the Jets +3. They made the quarterback switch. It started steaming down. It got to a pick. It actually got the Jets -1. Brad Powers is like, it was +3. I'm not taking the Jets. You're playing into a terrible number. Adam, what do you say about playing the wrong numbers?
Can't do it. You can't win that way. And it wouldn't have mattered tonight.
You can't win what? You can win a one-off. But long range, if you're consistently playing after the numbers moved like 4 or 5 points from where it was originally, you're effed.
Yeah. You're not going to win long-term doing that. And we saw, again, the number moved. It wouldn't have mattered, like I said, because, it would have mattered until the Melvin Gordon run. Like, before the Melvin Gordon run, you would have covered if you bet the Jets early and not covered if you bet them late. And that's what we're talking about with the line moves. But in the end, Melvin Gordon gets that, garbage time touchdown in the doesn't matter anyway. But
and he had no runs after that.
He
That was
didn't?
it.
Okay.
No.
That's good. But in fairness, I mean, he would have. It's not just because he ran for 43. He could have run for 2 or 3 and still picked up his. Still could have got the overs. They were trying to run out the clock. So.
Yep.
What was his final point total for fantasy? That's a good fantasy night. Yeah, 2 touchdowns. He had 23 fantasy points. Unless you're in a craze, did he have any catches? Yeah, if you're in a PPR league, he had a couple of catches too. All right.
Yeah, 2 catches, 11 yards.
Adam, were you paying attention to what I said I bet before the game at the end of the show? What my bet was on the game?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Broncos alternate line.
Oh, 7.5.
Broncos minus, ready, Justin? Broncos minus 7.5 plus 290.
No.
Would have had it all the way. It's a right side winner. No, that's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Minus 7.5 with the Broncos.
By the way, when you were talking about Greg Williams, were you referring to Steve Smith?
No, you know what? Steve, first of all, what did he say about Greg Williams?
Apparently, Steve Smith is just going in on him right now. Like, Twitter's kind of blowing up about it. He just said that's the kind of BS he does.
Steve Smith has a violent background off the field. Shut up. And I got to tell you, watching him again tonight, I'm like, is he right? Like, is he of right mind?
Who, Steve Smith?
Yeah, because we had some video from him early in the year, and he looked like he was whacked. And tonight there were a couple times I was watching at the half, and I'm like, does he know what's going on?
Like Adam Gase.
Well, Adam Gase. I think that's a condition, man. That's a condition.
No, dude.
Sometimes your eyes, Adam's got small eyes. Some guys are bug-eyed.
True.
I don't know about that, bro.
Okay. On a serious level about Adam Gase, was that decision to try to lose the game? Is that what he was doing?
What do you mean, the field goal?
Yes.
I don't know, man. Maybe. I don't know why he's playing it all close to the vest. It just freaking, let's go, dude. Be aggressive. Don't give him the ball back after kicking a field goal, and you'll take a 2-point lead.
Well, you're begging to lose by kicking that. That's what I'm saying.
28-27. I can't even keep track.
A 1-point lead. They were down 2. They went up 1.
Yeah, so 28-27.
To me, that was a decision that you make if you're trying to lose. So if that's what he's doing, good on him. Like, commitment to the cause, I applaud. But if he was actually trying to win, he should be fired. It's 4th and inches. Let's go.
Let me tell you right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to throw out the threat. It's an empty threat. But fuck the Jets. If they fire Adam Gase, I'm not done, but it's the dumbest move ever. This is what you want. Mission accomplished. This was brilliant. That's it. Why would they fire him? You want to lose. As I'm watching the game, I was like, this is pathetic, but it's 3.5 games into the season. I'm like, I don't care if they win. I don't want them to win. And I bet the Broncos, but like they don't want to win. Stop with the 6 of 8 bullshit that they got done last year at the end of the year that ruined their spot in the draft. And now they've got, Mekhi Becton, who I hope he turns out, but no, tank for Trevor. He stays. Actually, give him a raise for this season. Send the message. We're behind what you're doing, Adam Gase.
Not me.
Yeah, I wish I had that much passion for any football team right now. I'm stuck in a malaise between teams.
Oh, we'll get to your Raiders. We'll get to your Raiders.
My Raiders.
We'll get to your Raiders. We'll get behind.
Not there yet.
Yeah, we'll talk Massgate in a little bit.
Steve, I just sent you a photo also that just perfectly sums up where the Jets are right now. Gase with his head down and what's his name just glancing at him out of the side eye like done with you.
They're terrible.
It's a real well-run organization right now.
Treason ODB. It was a brilliant loss. You're right. As a Vikings fan, hoping to tank the Jets, killed my hopes for the number 1 pick. So it's not over yet. Believe me, the Jets will find a way to screw themselves into like 4 wins and have the 5th pick in the draft, morons.
Well, you know who the favorite in the FPI to get the top pick was before tonight, right?
No.
The Broncos.
Ooh, nice head. That's a head-to-head moment.
So it's a head-to-head loss. Perfect. It's perfect. Couldn't have worked out any better for the Jets.
What's funny about this? There's a chance. Matt Patricia goes in Detroit, and Detroit's like, yeah, Gase, with the right players, he could be the guy.
What if they trade?
Give him a third chance. They trade.
Patricia to the Jets, Gase to the Lions.
Yeah, Patricia, DC. You know, I don't even think I want him as a defensive coordinator because without but Belichick was freaking running the defense, and it wasn't Patricia and his stupid pencil and his hat on backwards.
He's got that pencil
and his musky, dirty beard. See, we everyone bitched about this Thursday night football matchup. It turned out to be a boatload of fun.
Not me. I was all in from the beginning.
You knew how bad it would be.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. It had everything. Although I kept getting distracted because the Padres game was unbelievable.
Yeah, you got stuff to root for. The Pod Squad.
Yeah, no, hey, yeah. I mean, I had the Golden Knights, and I was a little worried they're going to win the Corona Cup, and that the Padres would finally win their first World Series with no fans, and the Las Vegas Aces are finals. So, like,
game one tomorrow night.
That's right.
Let's go.
But in fairness, I haven't ever watched a single minute of Aces basketball, so I don't count as a fan. But it's still be cool if they won it.
You're missing out.
I hear
got the MVP. They're in the finals. Your worries, though, Justin, about the Cup not really being celebrated properly.
Yeah,
Tampa figured it out. It's Florida, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, Riverboat. With
Florida.
Ron, what'd they do?
The fans and players were taking turns drinking from the cup. Like, as if there's no pandemic going on. Let's just share the cup. So ridiculous. And they did a boat parade, which was a good idea, but then everybody got together and drank out of the cup.
Did they do it like, catechism? Did they do it like the Catholic Church, do a little wipe down after each drink?
Yeah. I didn't see much of that.
That's great.
Pass and sip.
That's great.
Perfect.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Padres, who had 2 home runs in the game? Both.
Tatis and Myers both did.
Yep.
And even better, the Manny Machado bat flip. My goodness. My goodness.
They're the best. They're the most fun team to watch.
So fun.
We're good with the bat
so
flip, right? We're not going to pitchers aren't going to be babies about it.
Oh yeah. I want way more showboating in baseball.
Well,
all of it.
I was good with it. I had plus 450 when the Padres went down 4-0.
No.
I was pretty thrilled. Oh yeah.
Look at you. Let me punch up a little pod. Did you guys see the Padres parking lot video?
No.
Are they letting them park like right beyond the wall? Is that the deal here? Let me punch this up.
How? There's not even parking there.
You're right. It's just kind of a lot. Don't they have a field out there?
No. Yeah, they got the park in the park, and then you could park back behind there a little bit. There's a condo like real close. But
right behind the park in the park, though, it's like it's a alley and then a street.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But on the other side, like on the third base side,
right.
On the third base side, there's some parking, I guess.
No. Right. On the first base side. This is right here. I should know. This is.
So there's a screen there.
Okay.
Can you pick up where they are?
Yeah. So they're off the right.
That's
field.
the park in the park. Yeah.
Yeah, they're off the right field side.
Oh, there is a skinny parking lot next to the baseball field, next to the mini baseball field, Little League field.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Do it.
Let's go!
Yeah. Touch them all, buddy. Touch them all.
Yeah!
Oh, not a lot of mass.
I mean,
that Hope Hicks over there?
They're decently distanced.
Yeah!
Like they close in for the high fives, but for the most part, people are pretty spread out.
I love it.
That's awesome. Fun times.
It
just hit me.
Wait, did his shirt say "I survived Austin Hedges"?
Stop.
Is that what that guy's shirt said? It's unbelievable.
Yep. Wow. What a bastard t-shirt.
Poor Austin Hedges.
That's so great. That's so great. I love it.
You think Austin Hedges is watching this? Like, come on, man. It wasn't that bad.
Dude, just stand there, too. You know, it just hit me. Let's see. Treason ODB said that there were multiple incredible bat flips in that game. Do you think that the Padres are extra motivated, one, because of that dork in Texas who was, getting on Tatis, and two, who are the number one rules of baseball, guys, Adam? Right?
Cardinals.
Yep. Fuck the Cardinals. I'd be flipping. I would flip the bat over their dugout into the stands.
Yeah.
I thought Machado was going to go into
fans, the classiest fans bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought Machado. I thought Machado's bat was going to go up into in the upper deck.
Oh, fuck that! Do whatever you want. Celebrate, stare, fucking cartwheels, all of it.
Game Dog says the way he flipped the bat, I was fine with it. If the batter does it with the intent to stare down the pitcher or the other team, it's wrong. But he was celebrating with his teammates. Nah, it's all part of it. I'll stare anyone down I want.
That's what I say.
Too bad.
Fucking WWE it out there. Let's go.
Steve Smith is still going. Dude, take more weed, man. You got to calm down. He already threatened to beat up Michael Irvin on multiple occasions. He already smoked a teammate back like 20 years ago, just sitting in a film room in the dark. He beat the shit out of him. He's lit up another teammate. Calm down, man. You're in your 40s. All right, grow up. That's me giving you the lecture.
I'm sitting over here reading these comments, trying to figure out which one of these is the new attorney in my firm trying to make his audition. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's in there. I don't know.
A lot of familiar names. I don't know. Well, I don't think he's made a cut yet or a comment yet. Third Eye Shut's familiar. Everyone else is familiar.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is try it. We'll see if he says something stupid. So for the commenters, if you see someone new in there,
get him.
Justin's got a new coworker who's like, "Hey, I want to be on the show." I'm like, I'd let him. I'd let him come on the video. That is freaking trial by fire.
That's who I thought it was. The person who just said it's me. That's who I thought it was. That's a new name, right?
Yeah. You know what? I noticed this earlier. Steve Smith, I thought was had a little angst towards Joe Thomas. Would that be a good fight? Joe Thomas has lost a lot of weight. I mean, he's a former lineman. He was 6'6", 320, so now he's probably down to about 240. At 5'9" and 190, would Steve Smith just beat the shit out of Joe Thomas, the former lineman? Crazy does a lot for your lack of size.
Mm-hmm. Right, I agree.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a tough call, actually.
That's every younger brother in history. All you got is the crazy card, right? It goes a long way. It's a great equalizer. Completely lose your shit.
I actually hadn't seen Tatis's second bat flip because the Machado one I loved a lot. The second Tatis one was tremendous.
Terrific.
Is it? Oh, let me see.
Yeah. I just sent it to Steve.
Oh, we're gonna put it. Yeah.
We'll use that as a break. We'll use it as a break in a bit. All right, let's all be adults. I know Justin will be, but there's a lot of legal issues and just procedural issues that we need to talk about with the fact that Hope Hicks tested positive. It was just announced a few hours ago. She's one of the closest aides to President Trump. So she's tested positive. President Trump is talking about needing a quarantine. If it's a true quarantine, the quarantine would take him to about the 14th or 15th of October. When's the next debate? Is it actually on the 14th or 15th? One of them, right?
Yeah.
So
you don't need a quarantine if you test, though.
When are you actually cleared? After, what do you think? 5 days? I mean, is it? I've seen people say the incubation period is 3-4 days. I've seen other people say it's 12 to 14 days.
I don't know. I don't know the technical answer to that.
Yeah. Corona, bro, do you know? I'm referencing you, Adam.
Me? I'm like, what? Yeah. Is that a commenter? Or
yeah, I was looking in the comments. I'm like, who's Corona, bro?
No.
I think it's.
What is it? How long does he have to quarantine for if he's really going to quarantine?
I mean, it's technically 14 days, but I think with the daily testing, incubation is 3 to 5. I would say 7 to be safe.
All right. So what do you think he'll do? It's a lot of
Well,
campaigning to hit, a lot of cheering to greet around the country.
I don't think he'll stop a damn thing.
I don't think he will either.
Well, they found out yesterday, right? And he still did a rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they found out yesterday he still went to a rally, so I don't think they're going to
Shit.
change anything.
No.
There were others. I mean, there's no defamation anymore around this whole thing, right? Like we can say whatever we want. I've heard this. I heard this. All I said was I heard. All I said was I heard.
Yeah, but if you didn't hear it, then you lied, and that could be defamation, right?
Okay, I heard
because it would show, and I think it would show malice, right? That you were intending, or it could be a factor in establishing malice that you said I heard when you clearly didn't hear. But yeah, I mean, it's an easy out. Like I hear all kinds of shit. Who told me? I don't remember. I don't. I talk to lots of people all the time, and people say things.
I heard
lots of people are saying.
Yep. Well, that's the new one. I heard that President Trump had it first, and then now Hope Hicks has it.
That's what you heard?
Yeah, I actually did.
Twitter?
I read it on Twitter. That's it.
Yeah,
I heard that Joe Biden's on PEDs. I didn't say he is.
I heard that too.
Me too.
I mean, we are in a bizarre world right now, where basically I heard is you can just throw things out and defame. I heard. It's weird.
I don't think we're in especially weird times for people avoiding defamation lawsuits by using particular language, vague language, cop out language, escape language. I think that's always happened. I really do. I think defamation is very difficult to prove. It always has been, and for good reason. Like we don't want to squash speech, and the reality is, I think if you really went to a full examination of where we're at today, you could say, well, everybody's spreading this stuff with I heard. It's more prevalent now than it ever was because of social media. And my counter argument with that would be, and that's why it doesn't matter, right? It just gets lost in the shuffle. Nobody cares. The attention span's 13 seconds, and then they're on to the next thing. So you actually haven't suffered any damage. If you ask those guys, those same people 13 days later, they don't remember it. Now, there's obviously big cases, big accusations where that stuff matters. We've seen recently some settlements from, and his name's escaping me now, but the kid who had the MAGA hat on and the Native Americans were sort of dancing in front of him.
Covington High School kid?
Yep, the Covington High School kid. He sued
Covington Catholic, not public school Catholic.
Okay. Yeah, and he sued all the news outlets for portraying him as the instigator, as the racist, as the one confronting and creating the dispute in that lawsuit. Yeah, Nick Sandman. They showed the timeline and exactly what happened, and that was in the video feeds that some of the news organizations used and chopped to sort of fit a narrative. And he's got, I think he sued 6 media outlets, and I think he's already gotten 4 settlements, which is like ultra rare in suing a media outlet for defamation. So that, under the right circumstances, those can be successful. They're not all losers, but it is a high standard.
The key in that case, right, is they knowingly chopped the parts of it that would have been exculpatory. That's the right word? That's
the right word if a crime had been committed.
Right.
There's no crime here, but yes, that would have context. That would have provided context to what was going on. They deliberately removed appropriate context to cast his character in a certain light. That's the allegation.
Say they would say, like, so much media now is people taking other people's content or using other people's content, or even borrowing, even with permission, doing that. If you get the doctored video and air that, you air that, but you didn't know that there was another part of it, you're in the clear on that, right?
From a media standpoint, if it's newsworthy, the answer is going to most likely be yes. What I think is also a factor in this is, so media's got a couple different protections: newsworthiness, right, and oftentimes they're reporting on public figures, and public figures have a higher standard that they must meet in order to prove defamation, because they are going to be the content of discussion, and necessarily rumors and what may be false could happen in that discussion because they're a public figure, like political candidates, for instance. And so I think, here, Salmon wasn't a political figure, and they, intentionally removed the context that they had access to. But if they had said, as this video has been posted on Twitter, and just said that, I think that they would have been okay. But they doctored it, right? They changed the context,
Right.
and came with commentary associated with the video rather than just saying, here's a video that's been posted.
So this one's interesting. I'll punch it up here in a second.
Real quick, funny commenter there from ASU Whiskers talking about Richard Jewell in regards to this conversation. Richard Jewell and Nick Salmon had the same attorney.
Really? All
Yeah.
right.
Who's also the attorney who just said that he's going to sue Joe Biden for the video.
Oh, it's the same guy.
Same guy, Lynn Wood. Yep.
All right. So here's the story. Accused killer Kyle Rittenhouse plans to sue Biden for libel, attorney says. So you have a shot.
I don't like to bet against Lynn Wood in libel and defamation cases. I know Lynn. I don't like to bet against him. I wouldn't want to be a defendant in a case that he brought. He's one of the best at bringing these, but I don't think there's enough there in this case, because it was a montage video, and I think it takes a little bit of a leap to say that the tweet that said that the president chose to not disavow white supremacists in the debate, and then there's a video associated with it. They could say, we're not saying every person depicted in the video is a white supremacist. We're just saying this is a video montage we have of disarray, and we believe the disarray is caused by white supremacists. So I think that there is a truth defense there, and a no direct statement of a fact against the kid.
Would a label of white supremacist be a statement of fact, or is there something that would determine whether that is in fact a true statement?
That's a great question. I don't think I have an easy answer to that, because I think when you say white supremacist, I think most people have a general understanding of what somebody means when they say that, and that most people would agree what a white supremacist is. And if that's true, then that is a statement of fact. If, let's go to an example from months and months ago where somebody called somebody a crackhead. I don't think that there is a general definition that everybody can accept of what somebody means when they call somebody else a crackhead. I think there's a ton of people who use that without actually meaning they use crack. They just mean sporadic, crazy, nuts, right? But I don't know that there's another definition that anybody understands when they say white supremacist.
Look, I'm saying this I'm saying this for the sake of the podcast, I'm not making this statement. I'm just saying for a question.
Yeah.
Let's say my opinion is that any white person that supports Trump is a white supremacist. You'd have to be. This is me. I'm just making this argument. You'd have to be to support somebody who has these things. So in my mind, any white person that supports him is white supremacist. So now, am I free then to say that, hey, you support him, you're a white supremacist?
I think that one's a little tricky, because you're not directing it at a specific person. And in fact, you don't know who you're directing it at. Unless somebody tells you they support Trump, you don't even know that you're directing that accusation at them. So, and we're also getting into political speak, which is the other sort of out here, is that there is a lot of case authority in regards, we've talked about this before, in regards to multiple cases that Danny Tarkanian has brought in the state, some of which he's been successful on and some of which he's not, about politicians are given a wide berth in what they can say and whether or not they can be held accountable under defamation when running for political office, given this speech. So I don't think it ultimately would be successful, and I don't think it's something that the campaign is probably worried about at this point. And so I just don't see it. I don't see that one materializing. And, I don't know. Linwood's not really known for threats. He's known more for action in my experience. So I kind of feel like he would have sued. And as he noted, he's a partisan. He supports Trump.
Let's mark on anything here. Could there have been a class action lawsuit against Hillary for calling people deplorables?
Political.
I don't even know what deplorables means. So I would say no. I don't even know what that means. And to Adam's example, who's it directed at? I don't know either. You would have to do something affirmative to get your damages. You'd have to be like, hey, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a deplorable. Now you've harmed me. You outed yourself. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know exactly how a court would treat that, but in that particular example, I just don't think deplorables I don't know what that means. And I don't think most people know what that means. I think we would have, if we had 100 different people in here, we probably have 100 different definitions.
We saw
I don't know what.
I was going to say, we saw a great piece a while ago on John Oliver about the slap lawsuits. Does it only apply when it's someone wealthy against someone who's not? Because what if Biden, if Biden was like, hey, I'm going to go after Kyle Rittenhouse and his lawyer, this is a slap.
No, we see slap lawsuits all the time. Slap protections are super strong. In fact, the one that we've been talking about here locally, the Sahara Hotel sued Vital Vegas for saying that the rumors were that they're closed. They filed an anti-slap motion to dismiss. I don't think it's been granted yet, but that's the right move. That's where you go with that. And I'm just telling you, like every time, and I don't have tons of experience in this, but every time I've been aware of a case in which we start with the anti-slap suit, the case almost always gets dismissed on those grounds. In Nevada, the protections are super strong.
Interesting. All right. Very interesting. This is more of a logistics and civics lesson. I don't know if you know the answer. So Hope Hicks has COVID. She traveled with she traveled with Trump to the debate, maskless. Trump was 6 feet away from Biden for 90 minutes during the debate. What if Biden gets coronavirus and dies before the election? What happens?
Yeah, what happens? I don't know that answer right now because the convention's already happened. I don't know that answer if under the federal constitution and the laws whether or not they can replace him. I know what happens in Nevada. You vote for the dead person. We elected a dead person in the state of Nevada. Nye County did anyway. It
was the pimp.
Yep. So the dead person stayed on. Okay, there you go.
Well, it's one answer. I trust Brady.
I don't know how you do that if some of the ballots are already out and some may have been cast already. I don't know what you do there. I don't know that could happen. I don't know if the DNC can pick a new nominee.
I mean, they're
voting started.
They're on the ticket, and you have a vice president nominee.
Yep.
Or a vice president candidate. So I guess you're voting for Kamala. This one's interesting because obviously he's a sitting president. What if Trump dies before the election?
Brady's got a good point. Technically, you're voting for the electors, because we got the electoral college, not the person. So, but in a lot of states, Brady, you can bind the electors to having to cast a vote for the person that the voters voted for. So that's a little different too. And those binding laws have been upheld. I don't know. I'll have to look at it, and maybe next week I'll have an answer.
If Trump dies before the election, Pence is president, but not necessarily the candidate. The 3 RNC members from each state would vote on who would replace Trump on the ballot. It could, but not.
Yeah, what
It
if the
could, but
ballots are
it's
already
not.
cast?
Right, but it said it could, but it's not required to be Mike Pence. RNC would then have to replace Trump's name on the ballots in every state. Obviously, never happened before.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. Yeah,
Oh.
it wouldn't even be one of the things remembered about this year.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's like the
I
30th.
wonder if that happened and there had been early vote already taken place, do they restart the vote? Do they transfer those votes to the replacement nominee? I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
I think that's the big caveat, that the election already started. Like the voting has already started.
Yeah.
So that does change a lot of this.
Adam, you got work to do, because I know when you watch a documentary, you go look for the all the true facts. If they missed anything, you usually go down the rabbit hole for like 4 or 5 hours. So you might want to read into this if Biden or Trump dies.
Dude, it's not. I can't even do that. It's not worth the headache. After that fucking shit show on television the other night, I can't even do this anymore.
Could it be Kanye? Would it be an independent who gets all the votes?
Hopefully.
Yeah, is that right?
I can't believe they were able to find, allegedly, these audiences for each of the news networks of truly undecided voters. Like all the polls show that's like 98% of the people have made up their mind. And I just wonder who the 2% is. Although after that debate, maybe it's 3% now. Maybe it went up.
It's weird shit.
Actually, that is okay. Let's say I understand. That's true. I'm just using the hypothetical here. As this person just pointed out, if both Trump and Pence got COVID and both died, and Pelosi does become president before the election, she then has the power to withdraw the nomination to the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. So would they try to vote in that like 3 hours of swearing her in and getting her sworn in to be the president? Would the Senate try to push through a vote in that time?
This is real life House of Cards.
Yeah.
Like House of Cards will write this in.
Let's just hope that doesn't happen. But I like the tweet up there. I agree with Ari. Like, let's stop with the 70 and 80-year-old people running for president. As I've long said, I respect my elders. Like, I love having them at Thanksgiving dinner. But the head of the table, the 80-year-old grandpa, isn't the one making the most sense at the table ever. So
I will say, if it's DJ TJ and Tucker Carlson, then I am back to undecided. I've got some things to consider.
Well, you saw the big.
They're younger. That's what we're asking for. They're younger.
Sure. You saw the big DJ TJ related news tonight, right?
No.
I saw something about sexual harassment with Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle was fired from Fox for sexually harassing her female assistant.
I want to see more on this one. It's just out. So
I was reading the details. They were great.
I feel like all the final details of all the final dirt is going to come out here in the next 3 weeks about everybody. So every like what's going to happen, we'll be so overwhelmed by it, and I don't know that any of it's going to mean anything.
Yeah, the Melania tapes are out today. Those are fun.
What's on those?
Her talking about the kids at the border, and she basically is like, who cares?
Oh, yeah.
But it's a lot of fake news. Hey, the news is fake. They don't tell us the good stuff. Like, it's ridiculous.
I would vote for Taya Leone, if I can say it. I'm in.
All right.
I can still be swayed. Not by any of the crap that's available right now, but all right.
What's the Biden daughter rehab story?
There's just too many things. We can't even.
Funny that Adam doesn't know the facts on that story. You didn't look that one up, the Biden daughter rehab story?
I didn't see that on Twitter today. So
right. Come on, get it together. And that obviously is to counter all the memes of DJ TJ all fired up, on video multiple times, sniffling, and so.
Especially stuff came out in July.
The sniffling stuff can happen. I don't know what I was. The vast editing crew at the Cofield and Company Late Night Happy Hour was editing one of the early podcasts from this week, and there was a lot of sniffing and sniffling. So I don't know what the hell was going on. So I wonder if that was coming across the video, if it looked like one of us was all coked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the youngest daughter has a drug-fueled past. Like, I'm sure every family's got that, right? Isn't that not a thing? And
I don't want to
is
say
that
every wealthy family,
for sure?
but it seems like there's more trouble at
Looks like
times.
My family's
like
not
it's
wealthy,
his-
but like you can find just dig around in the families. Everybody's got that.
I got
fuck.
junkies all over the place.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything about like
Many of them perished, unfortunately, too.
yeah. So like I don't know. That doesn't mean shit to me.
It's the highest land in the
No, I
office.
know, Brady.
This office is all about respect. Can't have the shit in there.
Oh, there's a
By
Biden's
the way,
daughter.
You think Jimmy Carter looks now and he's like, really, Billy? Really? You gave me all this shit over my brother Billy? Right? Really?
I sold my peanut farm for Christ's sakes.
It's like 14 Billy Carters on both sides.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. They probably were all the time. It was just everybody was so ashamed of it and hid it, and nobody got help. But hey, fuck, at least people are getting help now. I don't care. If somebody goes to rehab, that's not a bad story to me. I'm like, good. Get help.
Well,
please.
it looks like the stories that led her to going to rehab are the good stories. But this story came out.
Well, no shit.
Came out in
You don't go to
2009.
rehab on a winning streak.
No, but these stories came out in 2009. So I mean, it's not like these are election stories.
Yeah, I'm all about this. At 65, if you've accomplished little, then get out. Sorry to be an ageist, but your time is up. Stop serving office. Because
I hate that.
Now it's just a scheme to get rich.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that too, man. Like, this was one of my major criticisms. I got a lot of criticism, but one of my major criticisms.
Hold on. Not. I don't want to get in trouble. Not Carolyn Goodman, but go ahead.
I'm talking about Bernie, the dude, like, in the age group that I'm not a fan of. Never had a real job, really. I think when he was elected mayor of the town of Vermont, he was still living with his parents. It's like, dude, I'm not on board with that. So, yeah, man, I want 40s and 50s. That's where I want my president. Enough life experience that they can be productive. Like, all their marbles, theoretically, that they had is still there. Hopefully we do a good job at figuring out what that is. And, let's get some of their prime years of productivity as president.
Although on a positive note, I still have plenty of time to turn things around and become something. So if I can achieve by 77, I'm good to go. It's a lot of time.
Well, I thought 2022 we're going to start you in the assembly.
No,
it won't take long. You'll send the ranks.
No, I got a lot to cover up. I got a lot of things to clean up.
I'll take Steve's spot.
Yeah.
You don't have to cover up anything in Nevada.
I'd be great.
You would be great. I want to work on when you get elected in office. I want to be your attaché, so I have to schedule everything and make all your meetings and be there and take notes.
Perfect.
Sports related question, and this was actually brought up by Xavier Pope, who joined us today, attorney in Chicago. I guess there's a mixed impression of what President Trump said about the Proud Boys, but he also did clearly say he would like people to go out and watch the polls. The NBA is involved with its arenas. Should the NBA look at this and go, you know what, we're simply not equipped to handle the new responsibilities with polls and protect the polls? As Xavier said, like, what if the Proud Boys show up? Like, our NBA team's like, fuck, man, I didn't realize we're signing up for this. Like, I don't want to get sued over this. Someone's safety. Someone gets hurt, and now they come after the NBA team in the arena. Like, is that a legit concern? Should the NBA teams just say, "No, we're out, man. This is ridiculous"?
No, I don't think. I don't think that there would be any sort of liability for that because it's not their. They are turning it over to the state or the county as the election may be, depending on each state. So, like, the counties run their own elections in the state of Nevada, but there are obviously statewide protocol because there are statewide races, and so they are in charge of making sure that voters' rights are protected at the polls. Who enforces that? The Attorney General of the state. Who is the enforcement arm? It should be the county specific police. So in Clark County, that'd be Metro. At that direction. So it's not on the NBA. It's not like, okay, NBA arenas, tell us how you're going to run this this election. It's like, no. We're just opening the doors. Like, you literally take everything from there, and then you tell us when you're done, and then we literally close the doors, and that's it. So I don't see any liability there.
Adam, anything on this? By the way, Adam, how are you voting? Early, mail in, or at the spots on election day?
So myself and Ari actually had a conversation about this in studio today. Ari was asking,
"You guys going to tandem vote to watch your back?"
No, but
always can sniff your ass out.
No, but Ari was asking me.
Wacko.
Ari was asking me like what the best way to do it, and I told him vote early. Early voting is the best way to do it.
Right.
Early
voting. If you don't trust the mail, there's tons of ballot drop boxes. If it's on somebody's yard and it's a painted sign that says "drop ballots here," that's not the one.
Was that in Michigan? Where the guy had a toilet? He said, did he actually specify if you have a Biden vote, or if you have a Biden ballot, you can drop it here in a toilet? Yeah. He actually got in trouble too, right?
Yeah, he should, because it said ballot drop box. But when you get your ballots, it will have the drop box locations. So, and they all look the same, so you should feel fine with that. But if you're concerned, that there will be early voting locations that you can hand it. And so
Nevada's very good.
Yeah, super good.
Brady's joking about this. Vote early, vote often. It's illegal, but if your state has issues, like it sounds like Greg Abbott just limited a lot of the drop-off points. He's the governor of Texas. Like, what if you just sprinkled a lot of mail-in ballots and you're like, I don't know if they're going to get there.
Yeah, then you've committed a felony.
That's not a good defense.
And you're going to jail.
So, as you pointed out, you need to vote early, and then you can go check online to see if your vote was officially recorded. What happens if it's not officially recorded, and then all of a sudden you've run out of time?
Yeah,
you try to go to vote at a polling place, and you're like, I 13 days. I sent it in. It's not official.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yep. Then you could do a provisional.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a line for that, because they actually will provide a number that you can call. If they tell you, go ahead and look to make sure it's been received. If you don't see it, call this number, and then they can go through and actually do an investigation. I mean, if you wait until the 11th hour, polls are about to close the day of, you're probably going to get a little bit of resistance. But you just do provisional. But frankly, if I waited that long, I wouldn't do a fucking provisional. I don't want to be said I voted twice. I don't want to commit a felony. So you just got to be on top of it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to see your name on the list.
Speaking of being on top of it, Justin, there was some felonies.
Sorry, this is really not a great attitude, but it really is kind of where a lot of people are. Like, I really enjoy the process, and I get fired up. I early vote now, but I really get fired up, and now I'm like, yeah, you just want it to be over. You want the appeals process to be over before like March.
It won't.
A lot of this process has been dampened a bit.
It's gonna be a months-long process, which is obnoxious. But Justin, there was some charges filed today, election related, and I think people should be aware of it just because these things are going to happen a lot. But remember our good friends Steve, was it Jacob Wall and Jack Buckman?
Oh yeah,
or Jack Berkman was his name.
Love Jacob. Yeah, he and his dad.
Yeah, well, they were caught on that documentary. They've been caught a lot of times, but on that documentary After Truth that we talked about, they were caught just in completely, like, everything they do is a scam. It's all a hoax. Like, it's all made up. Every single thing they've ever done. And they were caught red-handed on that documentary. But they were both charged with 4 felonies today. And what they did was they had robocalls go out to all the Democratic voters in a majority black district in Detroit. And it basically told people, just so you know, it's illegal to vote by mail in the November 3rd election. You'll be charged if you do, and forced to get vaccinations that are unsafe. And you'd be in violation of election law. So just don't do it. Don't send your vote in by mail. So they sent these robocalls out to all these voters, and they've both been charged with 4 felonies. I just I bring that up to say, A, don't do dumb shit. Like don't think you're participating in the election by trying to scam people, and also be aware of things like this happening because it is going to happen a lot in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like voter suppression is a crime. It's a felony. And, I think all attorneys general in all of the states have been hyper aware of the fact that if you dive down the right rabbit hole, you can find support for doing stupid shit like that and think you're not committing a felony. And so they've all have been trying to push the message out there like, hey, if you do this, you're in trouble. Don't do these things. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to spend more time on Twitter than they do reading statements from their elected officials. So if you're right, it's going to happen. But I also think that they're going to be really vigilant in trying to catch these things happening before they get out of hand.
In all states?
I think so. I do. Let's remember here, I think state elected officials for the most part are trying to do the right thing. We have primarily a Democratic elected body here, but our Secretary of State who runs the elections is a Republican. She, chose to do the vote by mail for the primary. She again thought it was a good idea to do the vote by mail for the general. She was not in favor of all the different things that happened in special session to that process, but I don't think she has made a politically charged decision yet. And so, at least in Nevada, I feel comfortable that the people in the places that can impact this are trying their best to do the right thing, regardless of political affiliation.
What do you actually get? If you're charged with these felonies, treason ODB. Voter suppression is a felony, but that doesn't really stop people from doing it. Like if Jacob Wall and this Berkman guy are willing to do it, like what's if their goal is to alter the election and get the result they want, is a fine and a commuted sentence, whatever it's called, of a month. Does that really dissuade people, or are there real penalties for it?
Depends state to state, right? But felonies in the state of Nevada require jail time. So I guess if it's that important to you and you think you have that big of an impact, you want to go to jail for it. Then I guess we just need stiffer penalties until we get to the point where it's not, you're not enticed to do it, I guess.
I wonder. All right, Adam, what else you got?
Okay.
Oh.
This is not a fake Twitter account, but I have to think that Shams was just hacked.
Why would
right?
this happen?
So Shams, one of the best NBA reporters in the world, right? Verified account. Most people follow him if you know anything about the NBA. Just tweeted out that Trump and Melania have both tested positive for coronavirus. Now, this can't.
Why would Shams have it?
That's what I'm saying. It's his account.
Well, give me a second.
Why would he be breaking this story?
It's already got 3,000 retweets in a minute.
It has to be fake. There's no he would not be the one that breaks that news. That it's got to be fake. I can't imagine that he's breaking political news. Isn't he in the bubble?
Doesn't matter. You can't stop Shams.
That's true.
So good. I'm just now diving, especially because I don't have.
Trump tweeted
True?
it. Yeah, Trump tweeted it.
That he tested positive?
Yeah. Brady
yep.
Brady just retweeted it.
Yep.
Brady's like, I'm not reading Shams. I'm going to find the story.
Yeah. Trump tonight. Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We'll begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. 2 minutes ago.
Shams, dude. Breaking
Shams
news.
tweeted it right after Trump, though.
Yeah, right after.
Why did you just tweet it out? Why don't you just retweet it?
Well, so no debate 2 or Zoom debate.
Zoom.
Don't-
Poor Biden.
Don't
Biden, man. Now he's got to go
Don't-
get
don't
tested.
bother.
He can't handle COVID.
No, don't bother.
All right. Also, people that are out there that are now just tweeting their own tweets, like they're breaking news. Like, sorry, Wes Reynolds, you come in here and watch every once in a while. You're our friend. We like you. Don't just tweet like the president has tested positive. Like, retweet somebody. This is not your breaking news story. What are you doing? Come on, man. That was quite a showstopper.
Yeah.
I just love the memes that people are throwing on the announcement
timeline?
now. Well, they're doing they're retweeting the Trump tweet with the Michael Jordan looking at the tablet. This is ridiculous. So ridiculous.
This is a terrible night for America. Again.
Everybody's giving credit to Shams for breaking this, though. There's where were you the night an NBA reporter broke the news that the president has COVID-19? Like, I don't think Shams broke it. I think Shams
I like it.
just sent the tweet himself.
It was fucking quick, though. He was real quick with it. It's once it gets past an hour, it's going to show the same timeline. He's going to be on par with Trump's tweet.
We do have to address the elephant in the room, not to dance on their grave, but when you do this many events and flaunt it and do the anti-mask thing amongst that many people all around the country, come on. And this isn't like I hope they're both going to be fine.
I'm surprised
and healthy, but it's like it got to a point. It's ridiculous. At the debate the other night, it was like a gang walking in, like, fuck you, we're not wearing the mask. Like, cut it out. Just put on a piece of cloth. Christ.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to contain himself.
The memes are crazy on. Oof. I don't want to go. I don't want to go in the comment section of a Donald Trump tweet ever again. I just did that.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Legal question, I guess, Justin.
Yeah.
Would somebody, because I've seen it already, of course, would somebody face any sort of legal issue for like retweeting this and wishing harm?
No.
Isn't that a threat at the president of the United States?
No, he's not threatening. The person's not threatening to do anything to him. He's just saying, I hope that what's happened, what he's got, goes bad for him. Right? No.
Yeah.
It's like if you were a fire breather, and I'm like, yeah, I hope that goes badly for you, and you choke on the fire and die. I didn't threaten you. I have no control over that.
Right.
That's under your control.
All right. Do we need a Karen or a Chad to cheer us up to take our minds off of it?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. This is pre-nap, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to bring it.
I got another story before that, though, because
we gonna talk about the Raiders and.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we have to get to that. Definitely have to get to that. Did we have an argument the other day? You guys started on Chipotle and Subway. We can do it here. I don't like doing it on the air. Can you recap for this audience if they didn't hear it? Well, I don't even know what was going on. I got really scared. I just don't like to be blasting, potential local clients for the radio station when we're going under and we're down revenue. What was the Chipotle versus Subway convo?
Also, side note, the only news channel that has not broken in yet is Fox, which is just perfect. I would encapsulate the argument in the easiest way possible that I made the claim that Chipotle is higher on the totem pole in terms of classiness of restaurants than Subway, and I will stand by that forever. Now, I am not making the claim. I'm not making the claim that Chipotle is light years ahead. but it's definitely ahead of Subway on the totem pole.
Whoa, wait. So that the framing of that argument is slightly different than what I think the discussion was, because you're talking about the classiness of the food. That means the whole experience going in and the cleanliness of the place and how it looks. Chipotle's look great. They're clean. Subways are less so. That's all I'll say. So like if we're factoring that all in, okay, I'm in agreement with you.
Just from a food perspective.
Right. My argument is, if you're gonna, like, I don't eat at either of those places, but if you're gonna force me to eat at one of those two places, I'm picking Subway. That's all I'm saying. I hate Chipotle. I think it's gross. I don't think it's real. I don't know what it is. It tastes weird. I don't want any part of it.
No chance in hell. If you have a choice between Subway and Chipotle.
Well, I think you won the argument based on this news story that Cofield found, that their bread isn't technically bread. It's just a loaf of fucking sugar. Like, fuck that. I think you won. Like, I'm willing to admit defeat when the Supreme Court in Ireland says, no, that's not fucking bread. That doesn't qualify.
What sort of trouble could this produce for Subway?
None here.
Are we talking class action lawsuit? I thought I was eating bread and I was just eating like a loaf of sugar, and that's why I'm all fat and hyper.
Yeah, because they disclose their nutritional value, right? Like, I don't think you're gonna get there with it, but doesn't mean people won't try. I bet you some people try.
Oh yeah.
Jared told me to eat 2 of these a day, and now I'm fucking fat ass because there's a whole bunch of sugar in this bread.
Can you imagine if could people go individually after Jared?
No.
Like he's already gotten himself in serious hot water, and then his personal fortune goes bye-bye because he was pitching loaves of sugar subs.
Well, I don't think, as long as he's not lying and committing fraud, right? Like as long as he was truthful that was his diet plan, and that they're putting him up there saying, look what Jared did. As long as that's all truthful and he's not fucking lying about it, then I don't see any problem.
Is there any chance this isn't the norm amongst sub places? Like everyone's doing a loaf of sugar?
No, good sub places use bread, bro.
What's your favorite sub place?
Yeah, what are the best sub places?
I love Porta Subs. I do. I know it's of a faster variety, but I love it.
I'll go Jersey Mike's all day.
Jersey Mike's is so fucking heavy with that fucking all the oil and the mayonnaise that you like. But you have to be super fucking careful, man. You gotta be like, hey, no shakers, don't fucking do it, because they won't even ask you, and they'll start fucking. They'll just go crazy.
That's the problem with all the other sub places. The goddamn subs are freaking. It's like eating sand. Give me the oil and vinegar. That's New Jersey. That's truly New Jersey. I don't like most sub places out here. Come on, drench the friggin' thing. Let's go.
Well, this ain't New Jersey, bro. I don't want a fucking oily sandwich.
Name Jersey. You're getting Jersey subs.
No.
Good for you. You like Porta subs. Good.
which was founded in Nevada. Porta subs. Reno.
I would also say
I like all of them. I like I do like Porta subs. I like Quiznos, and I do like Capriati's, but Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, like Capriati.
I'll go Jimmy John's all day too, because Jimmy John's has the lettuce wrap instead of a bread. It's great.
Shaky.
It just, I don't mind Jimmy John's except for how fucking fast it is. There's just no fucking way that shit.
Impressive.
It can't be right. I want the fresh cut. At least Porta Subs is cutting it.
Adam, there's not the smallest part of you with the big game hunting from Jimmy or John or whoever the owner is. Come on, man.
No, I can separate that.
Well, you do it with Chick-fil-A.
I did it with Chick-fil-A all the time.
Yep.
I like Truth from Duluth. I like my sandwich swimming in vinegar too. I don't like the oils. The oil's too much.
Oh, you go oil and vinegar.
No.
Some oregano.
Yeah, oregano's good.
Wawa.
Left 100%. Don't get us started. You're just going to depress us. We're in a good mood now. I'm not saying why. But yeah, we need Wawas here.
But I'm conceding the argument. Adam won this. I'm also going to say most often I'm probably going to be wrong on fast food. It's not my thing. I don't eat it a lot. But I hate Chipotle.
All right. So let's get to this Raider story here. Raiders intro to the community. Did you guys see you guys, I know Adam saw it and I saw it because we talked about it. We had Koken on Friday. Did you get wind of what happened with Koken and the tipping story, and then how the Raider Nation boobs? Boy, I'll tell you what, man, the more we see from Raider Nation, and it's not all of them, but the most vocal Raider Nation people on social media, man, they are a really insecure bunch. I mean, anything you fucking say about them, truth or not, or facts or not, an opinion, they're like, oh, they hate us. Like, it was, I mean, today, Florio, dropping the hammer on Derek Carr for the masking thing, which we'll get to, but it's just like, Florio's always hated us. Like, guys, relax. I'm a Jets fan. Like, we never win. Like, I should be like, oh, fuck it. Like, I should be flipping out tonight and I kind of did on Steve Smith, but I just don't like Steve Smith. But like, what a sensitive bunch. But on the tipping thing, Koken got crushed by Raider Nation. They're all coming at him. What did you think about that story just in general? Younger players, Raiders coming to town, maybe not understanding like what Vegas is from the tipping standpoint. It's unlike really any place in the country.
I liked it. Fuck it. Right? Like I the way I took it is Koken going to bat for the industry that, supports us, man. I'm all for it, man. And Koken came with the facts, right? When you tip like that, you actually cost the server money. There's a tip compliance limit. And so they're going to have to claim that they got more of a tip than you fucking gave them. So, yeah, man, go for it. Call them out. Call them all out. I mean, now if we go two guns a-blazing and we name names, could we hurt the industry by people not wanting to participate in the industry because they don't want to get called out? Yeah, maybe, but we're nowhere near that. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, and especially, well, first of all, I guess the legal question would be if you specifically named a person, because Koken didn't name the place or the person intentionally. Right. He just wanted to put it out there like, hey, do it. If you intentionally name the person, is there any liability? And I guess the answer would be if it's true, you're fine.
Right. If it's true, he's fine.
What if the server came over to him and was like, hey, that guy, it was a $600 check. That guy only left $10 and she was lying.
Then the server is committed to defamation, not Koken.
Even if her intention wasn't to make it public, she was just kind of making small talk.
She did make it public. When you tell anybody else other than the person involved, then it's public.
Okay.
Because that's what happens, right? People tell people tell people tell people. Not each layer is responsible for the defamation. The source is.
Sorry, I don't want to name the guy, but this is a funny line because he incriminated himself by jumping into the conversation with really no provocation publicly, except someone put his name up and then jumped out. But Koken never mentioned his name. This is kind of, oops, wrong one. Where the hell was it? There it is, Brady. Ruggs would be the worst under interrogation. You know why you're here? I didn't murder him. Like, just kind of, feeling out process here. Relax. So on the mask thing, Justin, I'm sure you followed what's gone on, and for the audience, I don't think the Raiders have handled this well. Gruden again he seemed irked at the media for asking the question when I believe he's actually irked at someone else, and I did not like the way Derek Carr handled it. And they're in a new community, and I don't know. There's times, and Adam, you can speak to this. I don't feel like he realizes his position. Like, he doesn't come off as a strong, I'll take accountability guy. Like, I don't know. I probably would have gone above and beyond and said, it's all on me. The other guys, when they had their mask off, they were distanced, but it was all on me. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Why I did that. I got careless and walking up to someone. It's my fault. I'm wrong. That's not what Derek Carr did.
No, and it's not really in his nature to do that, really. It's kind of what I've been saying since I've been covering this team, right? This is what he does. It's after every game, stats are for you guys. I don't look at stats. I mean, I only threw 6 incompletions today, but I don't check those stats. Like, wait, what? Like, that's just generally what he does, and the, holding others accountable, not yourself. And if it's him, it's hey, this guy didn't get open, and he'll say directly, I'll use fake names. I won't use real names. But Jimmy didn't get open, and we couldn't find him. And John, was supposed to go to the outside, and he cut to the inside on that route, and we just didn't connect with any passes. Like it's him, we. That's what Derek Carr does.
By the way, even before the mask thing, I pointed it out to you, right, Adam, and you guys saw it. After Waller got almost no targets and the Raiders' offense bogged down, Gruden is saying, "Hey, you know what? Watch the film. He was open. He could have gotten some catches." And then Carr was like, "Nope, just wasn't there. They were disguising everything, and they did a great job of covering things." I mean, like within minutes of each other, you got Gruden saying one thing and Carr saying something else.
Yeah, and I mean they have to. Sorry for dragging your new team, Justin. As you're becoming a fan of the Raiders, we're kind of dragging them down.
No, you're just putting distance between me and them and pushing me back to my Chargers. That's all it is. Like, what's funny is like what's happening in this community right now, and about like, hey man, are they going to embrace the community? Are they going to try to be good community partners? And what that's going to look like? When the debate was happening over the stadium, that was a conversation, right? Our Raider Nation, the reputation that they have, and the Raider organization and their history, are we bringing in a good community partner in doing this, right? And they're, oh yeah, of course, NFL, pro sports. But I don't know. So far, I mean, I think Mark Davis has done a pretty good job of trying to reach out and do those things. I do. Like just little things. I know at my kid's school, and I think most kids' schools, like they had some Raider personnel come by with like Gatorade towels with Raider stuff on it, and talk to the coach and all that. But like this is it, right? We're already getting into it. Derek Carr, who's supposed to be the clean cut kid who doesn't do anything wrong, is also the guy who can't accept personal responsibility, and he's, I guess, the sort of the face of the franchise. And when we were talking last week about whether or not I could be the Raiders, I'm like, I don't like the quarterback, I don't like the coach, and I don't like the owner. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get my way over there.
They could change soon. Not the owner, but the rest of it.
Does this put anyone, like, would it put someone as high as Governor Sisolak in jeopardy? Because he's been so stringent making sure that people of faith don't meet up, for church or whatever kind of gatherings, and then we see the Raiders doing it. Could he get in any trouble for this? Like, how did this happen? And then the fine that was handed out, wasn't much of a fine. Because that's when, a lot of it really hit me in terms of like, people out there who are non-sports fans. Like when you see them chiming in and they're pissed, or like, what is this? I don't get to do it, but they get to do it. The arrogance.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, from a public perception standpoint, it's terrible, right? As far as from a legal standpoint, specifically with the religious gatherings, we saw that went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court, sided with Sisolak on the restriction. I was surprised by that. I continue to be surprised that that's the way the Supreme Court voted in that particular instance. But they don't get to do it, right? They were fined, which is the penalty associated with doing this. And so could a religious organization get together, violate the order, and pay the fine? They could, right? Nobody's going to jail for this. That's not it. It's about being a good community partner, and everybody doing their part and taking responsibility. And the most visual and vocal people currently right now, some of them in the spotlight aren't doing it, and that doesn't help anything. And it's insulting, right? It's a finger in the eye of the people of Las Vegas, I think.
I also, and Adam would know more about this. I have no idea if Adam wants to, give out behind the scenes stuff, but I feel like the Raiders have, I mean, it's a bad look for them, but they've gone above and beyond publicly to back Carr. This will be remembered. Like, we're covering for you, bro, and I'm not sure, again, Derek Carr handled this correctly. I mean, I saw the comment. We read the comment at the end of the show from Dan Graziano, who's a writer for ESPN, and Graziano was like, "Yeah, this is a problem, and either Derek Carr doesn't get it or he doesn't care, which doesn't care is pretty bad, especially with what's going on right now with President Trump and Melania. President Trump announcing in the last half hour that he's got coronavirus, and so does she."
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's got to be one of those two things. He either doesn't get it or doesn't care, and I don't know, man. Like maybe we got spoiled, and I get that this isn't exactly true, but the perception that we got from the Golden Knights, the first professional team to come here, was that they were all in on the community. Circumstances were very different, right? Like 1 October was so early on and we're on the anniversary of it, but was so early on in their existence here that there was real opportunity for them to show community spirit. I think the pandemic is a different opportunity, but still an opportunity to show community spirit, and they haven't done it. They got a coach who gets fined for not wearing a mask, who tries to hide the fact that he had it from his own players, allegedly. Who knows what that's all about. And it just doesn't, it seems like every time that they have to talk about this stuff, they're annoyed by it. They're trying to like diminish it, and they're trying to find the right buzzwords that get the questions to stop, not that they actually mean what they're saying. That's my perception. But I mean, Adam's in the room. I don't know if that's his perception or not.
I think that's true, but I also think the Knights would have been similar if they were here. Like they didn't really have to deal with it in a lot of ways because they were in a bubble and didn't have to, they didn't have to talk that much about protocols because they were in a bubble that didn't have protocols, and everything was done outside before they came in. Also, we should point out that this was done, like, as bad as the look was, it was done raising money for the community. Like,
right.
The Raiders have been very, very good, I think. Like, they're at schools every week. They're, donating books, reading books to kids, donating money, being part of, like, they are. It's way beyond what I expected out of a professional sports franchise, because I think it's way above what the Golden Knights have done. But I don't think we hear about it as much. So maybe it's an issue of getting the word out better, but also the optics of what they did the other night were awful. And I do think there's a little bit of a lack of understanding of how big those things are. Like, I think they're stunned that the no mask is a bigger story than raising $300,000 for the kids.
Yeah, well, and again, I think that's where I said, despite my saying I don't like him, I thought Mark Davis has made a point of actually trying to integrate into the community. I think he's taken a lot of initiatives. I mean, he doesn't have to show up at all those Golden Knights games to try to, be a part of the community. I don't know if he's a hockey fan or not, but he goes all the time.
He goes to every Aces game.
Yeah, he is
It's
there,
nuts.
So, like, I give him kudos for trying. And it's on the players to be able to, like, be a good spokesperson for the community too, if that's what you care about as a franchise. You know what I mean? If you don't, you don't. But I will say, just as a side note, and I'm not trying to compare or defend, but the Golden Knights, with the Golden Knights Foundation and that the 5149 raffle had given so much money to charities, they actually had to lobby the state legislature to change the law to raise the caps on what became a lottery, because you can only give so much to a charity based on like a 50-50 raffle before it's considered a lottery. And they had given away so much money based on all of those 5149 raffles. They had to go to the legislature and say, hey guys, we've got to change the rules here because we're going to have to stop the raffle because we've given away so much money to charity on these. So I think there's more money that's been given than you think, just because every game there's somewhere between $20,000 and $100,000 going to a charity.
Sure, and I discounted that, which I shouldn't, but that does feel different than actually being out there. And,
yeah, sure.
And I think I could be wrong, but I think the Raiders do that other games too. They just haven't had fans, so it's a little different. But yeah, I think
they got a bar tab to pay first.
True. Very
There's
true.
750 in the hole.
Yeah. Well, we're not getting that back, sadly.
All right, want to close out with a male Karen?
Let's do it. Chat.
I don't know what subplace this is, but it's going to get ugly. And I want to say thank you to the brave young ladies behind the counter. This is dealing with an absolute child. Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say Twitter is about to break, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Sorry about the video and all that, but you can actually, I'll turn it up. You can hear it pretty good.
We're abolishing health department. Health department's over. Don't listen to them. I don't know her too. Both of them. Joel and another one. I have freedom. I have rights. Serve the people.
I have the right to not get
Get away. You have no rights. I'm not forcing you. You're forcing me.
Sir,
I am free.
Sweetie, I'm just going to be miserable. Yeah, I can't have you here right now.
I can't. I'm going to have to call.
Call who you need to, but I'm just saying, it's the law with the health
No,
department.
it's not. They're breaking the law. You're following them. I'm not.
Sir,
I have free.
okay,
Serve my sandwich.
I don't need to serve.
Yes, you do.
No, I
I'm
don't.
here. You do.
No, it's my
Serve.
restaurant.
It's too late. There's my sandwich right there. She told me. She already served it, so.
Sir, I'm not going to serve you. I'm sorry. I need you to go.
No, I want my sandwich.
I'm sorry. I want you to
Oh! No, I'm not wearing a mask.
Okay,
I need to breathe.
okay.
All right, we'll stop it there. What do you do here?
What a fucking asshole. Like, these people who think that they can go into private businesses and that they have that their rights are to force somebody to fucking serve them or do something for them is just the most fucking absurd and infuriating thing that has come out of this fucking pandemic, is that people think that their rights are being infringed upon because you won't do what they want you to do for them. It's fucking ridiculous. Besides, that's sidestepping the whole conversation about how people are stupid about what they think the law is and that they think they know better than everybody else because they fucking read something on Twitter or Facebook. But what everybody, like, the basic fundamental understanding that I get to go into, I don't know, a sub shop and make somebody fucking serve me is just insane.
Just the level of being that unhinged or that much of a dick that you're going to scream at someone. Like, at some point, do those women, do they have a right to defend themselves? Like, is it getting dangerous enough where you're like, I don't know, I got to get out a fire extinguisher and hit him or spray it in his face? Like, this guy is really threatening me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think you could definitely get, like, when somebody, at this point, he is trespassing, right? They've asked him to leave. They have a right to ask him to leave. He's refusing to leave. Depending on the state, could they use physical force? And to what extent could they use physical force? Most states, you're going to be able to use physical force, not deadly force, unless you're being threatened physically. And where do we draw that line? Has he threatened them physically yet? I don't think so. To rise to the level of use of deadly force, I don't think so. But could they, if they were physically able, if they had security there, could they grab him and physically, throw him out of there? Yes, they would be within their rights to do so.
All right, it's going to get loud. He's going to act like a bigger child. I think he threatens the people behind him. So I will try to keep the sound under control so we're not like peaking, but.
What's your fucking problem?
All right, right there, I'm fucking done. I would have been done earlier, but I'm fucking done. So what right do I have at that point?
For what? Him turning around and say, "What's your fucking problem?"
Yep.
No right. To do what? To physically engage with him?
Yeah.
To knock him out? No, I don't think you have a right to do that. He's distanced himself away. Asked a question.
Wearing the fucking mask.
What can we get for you?
All right, now you got the other guy walking up. Let's see what he does here. What the fuck is that?
Would he spike the chips? Is that what he did?
I don't know. He spiked something. But what if I'm standing over there and he spikes something near me?
Yeah, hits you, or then I think you have a right to defend yourself.
I don't know. I'm embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed by some of the dude. Well, I guess you know what?
I think they did it perfectly. I think everybody did it perfectly.
I admire them that they have that self-control because you can see the guy in the picture here is bigger than him. The older guy behind him is bigger than him. The restraint that these people showed, not to just like at some point at the back of the line, I would have been like, "All right, can I get my fucking sub? Leave."
Yeah.
The restraint's amazing. By the way, that's a good drop. Can I get my fucking sub?
Yeah, I actually think everybody did perfectly here, because those outbursts, those tantrums, are just crying for attention, you know. And when you don't give the attention, like, look at he doesn't know what else to do. Like they walked away from the bar. We ain't fucking serving you, man, and they just walked away. And then he's like, you know, like fuck everybody, and then leaves. Perfect.
But like, all right, and he doesn't actually
in the trash.
he doesn't actually.
Yeah, that's incredible.
He doesn't actually commit any violence. So I think it's a little bit different. But like, when you're talking about when he turns around and he's like, "What the fuck is your problem?" When he does that, and you're like, "Well, there's you don't have any rights yet to do anything."
Correct.
Like you don't actually have to wait. Like you could see something was developing, and it turned out to be punching the chips, not the people. But like you have to wait till there's an actual action. There's not any point where the out of control nature of somebody justifies like, okay, that has crossed the line.
You have to be in reasonable apprehension of immediate bodily harm.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
I mean, I just
hate
you're right,
I
I get it.
Tell you,
I know Justin hates it.
It's not a fucking bright line, you know.
Yeah, people acting like animals. It's intolerable. It really is.
I mean, the only thing that I think, like, but this is what these people want. This is why you never win in this situation. What is why I commend how everybody behaved. But like, you know, I'm not gonna be the guy who's like, you're fucking holding up the line. But you know, there's 3 women back there, and he's fucking barking at them, and it'd be like, dude, you don't need to talk like that to women, right? Like, don't talk like that to the women. It is where the one, like, I'm not the guy who speaks up in those situations, starts fucking hollering and creating shit.
No.
But when you go after, like, you know, 3 women who are working at fucking Subway, come on, hotshot, dude, just fucking calm it down. You don't need to fucking, you know, beat your chest by fucking talking down to these women and threatening them. Like, I'll buy you a sandwich if you fucking go outside. What do you want? Do you want a fucking ham sandwich? I'll take care of it.
Are we
get the fuck out of here?
After the ruling?
I'll take it down to Jersey Mike's. I'll load it up with oil and vinegar.
No, but I think my question is after the ruling earlier, can we legally call Subway a sandwich?
Right.
It's not
Poor
bread.
bastard was never going to get a sandwich.
Yeah.
He was doomed from the get-go.
He
was going to get a bunch of lettuce on a fucking sugar bun.
Ray, is Ray just catching up right now?
We did start early tonight. Ray, every Thursday now it's going to be 9:00. We got to start
Ray.
earlier. So Ray's coming in. He's like, breaking news! You guys aren't talking about Trump and COVID like we had it 45 minutes ago.
But by the way, I will say there is a very large segment of Twitter that absolutely does not believe that he has COVID.
Yeah.
That it's absolutely changed the narrative from being a racist, get out of the debate. Here's what happened. I have it. And then come out of it scot-free and be like, see, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Told you.
Well, no, I definitely, if he gets through it, he's like, hey, I was right all along. You don't need to wear a mask. No big deal. It's like a cold.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Except for the 200,000 people who died, right? Like,
exactly.
I don't think that narrative is going to play.
Yeah.
You can't, like, I survived. Well, of course you did. You were the healthiest American president that has ever existed. You have the best immune system. But like, is that really
239.
what? Yeah, right. Like, is that really what the step you want to take? Is like, look at guys, it was all nothing, and then they go, okay, what about the 200,000 deaths? Was that nothing? Because you just said in the debate that if Biden had been president, 2 million people would have died with COVID. So it had the potential to kill 2 million people. You can't now say it's nothing.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Good job tonight. Good comments. We're all rooting